Hello and welcome to the 7th, I think, episode of Tubi Trash, the show where we talk about terrible movies we find on Tubi.
Yeah, it's number 7.
Okay, thank you for confirming. My name is John Cobarth. I am the founder of Neurokina Productions.
My name is Darren Logue, and I just have to say that I am glad that we're doing the second Bruce Willis movie in a row. It's like I've been given a second chance to talk about a Bruce Willis movie that he did when his aphasia was starting to kick in. Although it is kind of sad seeing him knowing what he was going through.
Yeah. I'm Trent. Yes, I'm in a suit. No, my Amazon wipe was not in this one. You can, find me at RedZoom727.
We're not going to explain the suit, by the way.
No.
He went to court.
Anyways, hello, I'm Shane McCarthy, stage names.
Sunday?
Stage names Snarky McCarthy, currently my YouTube channels and social media are on hiatus, but hopefully they'll be fixed. You'll know when it actually happens, because I'm bad at keeping promises sometimes.
So, we watched American Siege.
We're doing the Lord's work here.
Which, as Darren mentioned, is yet another late-era Bruce Willis movie, this time from 2021.
I'm sorry, I just gotta ask, how did we get 2 Bruce Willis movies in a row?
Yeah, I don't...
That's just what the spinner spun.
Because, yeah, I've talked about my methods for choosing movies on the show before, but it is pretty much, like, when I look through Tubi to find movies to review, my only criteria is it from 2014 or later, because that's when Tubi started, and is it shitty looking, and...
This one was.
And, is it not a mainstream Hollywood release?
Like those are not.
Those are my only 3 criteria, and when I choose a movie, it's out of that list. It is completely random. It is completely by chance that we did 2 Bruce Willis movies in a row. I did not mean for this to happen. I promise.
And I wasn't there for the first one because that was the day that my family got a new cat.
You really weren't missing much.
I got donuts the other way.
Wait, so you drink beer after just brushing your teeth? That tastes... You know how bad that tastes, right?
Maybe she is scared that the beer will rot her teeth, so she brushes her teeth after taking a sip of beer.
Well, no, she
She did it beforehand, dude.
She brushed her teeth and then drank beer.
I mean, you know...
Maybe she's going to brush her teeth again after drinking the beer.
Does she not remember that Gumball... Does she not remember that Amazing World of Gumball song where when trying to... Like, when drinking orange after brushing your teeth, the taste is pretty grim?
She probably has never seen Gumball.
Damn,
Yeah, does she look like a Gumball fan, dude?
Gumball fans come in all shapes and sizes,
like
dude.
they're dirt poor. Do you think they can afford cable?
Yeah, I don't think middle-aged redneck women are the core audience.
There's also another thing interesting about this. This was one of many collaborations Bruce Willis did with this straight-to-video director named Edward Drake, who also did films. I think were also his same year. There were Bruce Willis collaborations like Cosmic Sin, which Filmray reviewed when it came out.
I'm requesting an 89 at the residence of one Dr. John Keats, 1403.
Are you kidding me? It's my day off.
Deputy, crime don't take days off.
I'm a trashy drunk redneck. What else did you expect?
Problem handled.
I'm also a very big fan of The Amazing World of Gumball. So, I don't know, man. I guess, obviously, this movie's bad. Like, I'd say, objectively, it's probably worse than Hard Kill.
Yeah?
Hard Kill was pretty boring throughout most of it. This was weird because, like, 90% of it was just nothing. Just, like, absolutely, like, not worth your time at all. Just completely boring, not even ironically good.
Yeah, we were zoning out.
But every great now and then, especially during the climax, there was a moment that made us laugh our ever-loving asses off.
There was also a line that just made us gasp when we were like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
I would say for them, I would not seek out this movie if I were you, if you're in the mood for something good, bad. Like, it's really, those few moments are not worth your time.
It's on Tubi for a reason.
But I would maybe just watch the last half hour or so. That's all I would watch. Like, that's the only part we found entertaining, and even then only sporadically.
If you have to watch it on Tubi, just fast forward to the last half hour.
Yeah, and it is free. Like we said, it is on Tubi, so might as well. It's free.
This started 10 years ago, but it ends tonight.
When darkness turns to light, it ends tonight. It's weird that, like, it feels like nothing happens in this movie throughout a lot of it, but when you really think about it, the plot is surprisingly convoluted to the point where I'm having trouble, like, finding the words to describe a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like,
There was a plot?
Especially because the main reason it's so convoluted is because it does a lot of things that a lot of bad thrillers or mysteries do, which is they are so committed to doing rug pulls and throwing the audience off that they forget to have it internally make sense.
Yeah.
And it's so, like, reliant on exposition, too, that it just, like, so many plot points just get lost because they're mentioned in a throwaway sentence at one point throughout a big, long exposition dump that you miss stuff.
And we're talking about, like, exposition scenes, including one during the climax that lasted at least 10 minutes.
Yes.
Literally, yes.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Shit.
Nice line delivery there.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Shit! So just like Hard Kill, the last Bruce Willis movie we did, this one has an oddly similar beginning. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure if it's coincidence.
No disgraced former wrestlers this time.
No disgraced former wrestlers. But was Hard Kill also directed by Edward Drake? Because that might explain it.
Give me a minute. Go ahead while I'm searching.
So just like Hard Kill, this begins in media res, where we see choppily edited, weirdly incomprehensible shots from what would end up being the final battle sequence. And then we flash back to however many... honestly, it's only like hours earlier, if even that.
Like, I think it's like an hour later.
Is this supposed to take place in real time? Because it kind of feels like it.
I don't know.
Which also is kind of what Hard Kill committed to once they got to the warehouse. And I looked it up. No. But yet they don't have the same director. It's so weird. And yet it feels so similar because I guess they just it's almost like they just... Part of me wants to think, I have a conspiracy theory. Copy and paste script. And they just gave it a new coat of paint. Maybe
it was written by an AI. That would explain a lot. Isn't the very first thing we see those three people getting into that van? Because I remember at one point near the beginning, we see the conspiracy theorist guy with his gun, which he's carrying in a little, like, bag thing, which is... Hold on. In a bag that looked exactly like this. Now you may be wondering, why do I have a bag that carries a sniper rifle? This is not a bag that carries a sniper rifle.
It carries a tripod.
This is a tripod bag. Literally, this is the bag that I normally store the tripod we're using for this video in. So, probably, I would venture to guess, that was just like the tripod bag that they were using for the movie, and it checks out because that shot was handheld, as is a lot of this movie.
And that's not the first time, because there's also another instance where they, at one point, some characters that are part of this militia pull out a drone. And we very much think that it's the same drone they were using for a lot of establishing shots, aerial shots, and also a moving shot involving a truck.
This does the same thing. Hard Kill does it a couple times too, that a lot of low-budget movies do, where they show off the fact that they have a drone and they get aerial shots that, you know, in the past might have only been able to be done with a helicopter, and now they're like, hey, look what we can do, even on a low budget, except it's not actually that remarkable anymore, but whatever.
Especially since it's not a racing drone. Those things go fast.
So, drone shots can certainly look cool, and if I had one, I'd certainly take advantage of it. I don't blame them too much, but the fact that a lot of these types of movies linger so long on those establishing shots really says a lot.
Actually, rather funny how we were describing this film, but not the plot, so allow me to give me a shot at. So,
Good luck.
There's a plot.
exactly. So, it starts off with this guy named Roy, I believe. He gets out of prison after serving a decade for an assault. And after that, he meets up with some friends of his, a token female, and an extremely buff male who's also a conspiracy theorist. Honestly, just a QAnoner. They don't say it outright, but honestly, the overlap is so extreme.
But you're hiding behind that door, huh? You're the Black El Chapo, you running a Tubi sex cult studying the blood of the virgins to the ultra-rich.
So with it, they decide to arm up and take this doctor hostage at his, I guess, comparatively lavish estate, although it looked like pretty middle-class house to me.
I would like to point out that the guy's name is John Keats. And John Keats wrote Ode to Nightingale, Ode to Grecianer, and a bunch of old poems.
No idea if that
With,
reference was
Percy-
deliberate.
Made a bunch of poems with Percy Shelley.
No idea if that reference was deliberate. Probably just a coincidence.
Yeah,
Mary Shelley said that.
yeah, this isn't like a.
Okay, so he is related to Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
It's
no
her
connection. It's
husband.
just if it is not a connection, it's the most bizarre coincidence, or they just thought that'd be cute or something. Who knows?
It's a fairly
married
generic name.
After that, doctor's taken
More than
hostage, and the reason they take the guy hostage is because they're under the presumption that this woman who disappeared, named Bridget, they think that he had something to do with her disappearance, maybe even potentially killed her, even though they have like no real evidence to back it up. But of course, the hostage situation eventually triggers a silent alarm, or more so, they allow the guy to trigger the silent alarm.
No, they force the man.
Yeah, they
to
literally
trigger
tell him to.
Yeah,
They force the man to trigger the silent alarm.
yeah, these idiots, while trying to get Rig to safe, they decide, yeah, go ahead and trigger the silent alarm.
You can still go. I didn't press the silent alarm.
Well, go ahead, push it.
You want me to trip the alarm?
Yes, we do, Dr. Keats.
Which, of course, alerts local officials, which includes good old Bruce Willis, a sheriff who isn't exactly in the best of shape. I mean, clearly, like that old school guy, the old gunner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what was his daughter that is drunk, not convincing.
No,
Was
the
that supposed to be
deputy.
his daughter?
I don't know.
I think that was supposed to be the deputy.
She was the deputy.
The
Yeah.
deputy sheriff.
I don't think they're supposed to be related.
Okay, they just looked
She
together. Yes.
really did nothing this entire movie.
Oh, it's also worth noting that the three people who, try to siege the doctor's house.
They're
First
siblings.
of all, two of them are siblings. The QAnon guy and the girl are siblings of, Bridget. I think Bridget's their half sister. They mentioned them having different dads.
What's Toby's last name? Toby Cavendish.
Toby Cavendish.
Same mom as Grace and Bridget, different dad.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Bridget, when they show her, also looks mixed race, which shout out mixed homegirl.
Wasn't Roy Bridget's boyfriend?
Roy was Bridget's boyfriend. Yes.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, and the reason they believe he did it is because, to be fair, yeah, he is a drug and human trafficker person.
Spoilers.
We'll get to that.
But we kind of know a little bit from the beginning.
Yeah.
We don't know the full details, but
Yeah, but it's also a situation but of course, it's never a straightforward hostage situation because other parties, including, what exactly was Mr. Rutledge's role? Was he indeed a sheriff or something? No, not the sheriff. That's Willis.
he was a cop, but also in on the plan, the conspiracy, because he was also a villain.
And that's the guy who I said reminded me of Christoph Waltz with the bad haircut.
And also looks like Viggo Mortensen. Oh, and also the doctor guy, John Keats, is very much just discount Morgan Freeman.
But of course, all different parties involved, militias. Basically, Charles Rutledge was a kingpin cop of sorts, and just never straightforward. It just escalates into absurd.
I have no idea
scenarios.
if he was a cop.
No,
if
he was a cop. He was definitely
he,
a cop.
He was a cop.
I'm literally struggling to remember. There are random plot points I remember throughout this movie that are
Take your time.
particularly easy to make fun of. But
Especially some of the dialogue.
I'm having trouble.
The dialogue is absolutely hilarious.
Some of it.
Especially one. We
will talk about that.
And you can tell that Bruce Willis is saying his lines, that he's being given his lines from an earpiece.
Yeah,
with
that's
the way he delivers them.
This era of Bruce Willis movies. At this point, it's pretty well known that he was being fed his lines through an earpiece. But at one point, to be fair, very briefly, I think I actually saw the earpiece. I'm not gonna, because it was so brief that I'm probably not even gonna bother to try and like find it in editing, because that sounds like a gigantic pain. But yeah, I'll just take my word for it. I swear I saw it in one shot.
And even so,
I'm
it's
taking
much.
your word for it.
And even if so, it seems to be much better hidden than in the case of Marlon Brando and the Island of Dr. Moreau.
There are also a lot of parts where Bruce Willis is on the phone, conveniently. He was almost certainly being fed his lines that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do they even have his number in the first place?
Exactly. They're calling 911 every single time. Connect me to the sheriff. 911, what's your emergency? Hey, we're holding some guy hostage. Can you connect me to the sheriff?
I'm imagining like an old school 1950s switchboard room where it's like they're like, "Hello, operator? Could we have the local sheriff, please?" And then there's like a smoking girl with horn-rimmed glasses, like, 1 second." like some Mad Men shit. Anyway.
If you ain't trying to hide anything, why are you sending drones, huh? Trying to turn this into Waco?
They mentioned Waco. This isn't comparable.
Yeah, no,
the Branch Davidians?
Yes, that doesn't make any sense. It's small. This is a small-scale hot situation. This isn't a cult, you idiot.
The Branch Bruce Williams.
Oh God.
This is a film that basically, especially in this case, has exhaustive amounts of padding.
And exposition.
It is literally barely 90 minutes, including credits. It is literally, I think when we were watching it, I checked the little time bar thing at the bottom, and it said it was 1 hour, 30 minutes exactly.
Yes.
And 12 seconds.
That was 29.
So it's literally just barely less than a minute over 90 minutes.
It's also especially sad seeing the Georgia logo pop up at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. It makes sense that a movie like this would be funded by its state film commission, but it was also seeing that literally before the credits even roll, at the very end of the movie, they cut to a little title card thing that says the end. And then after that, before the credits even begin, we see a Georgia tourism logo. And I'm thinking, this movie is meant to make me want to come to Georgia? I'm sure Georgia's a lovely place. If anybody there is watching, please we don't mean to offend.
No.
I've been to Georgia before. There's some good parts of it.
I also want to point out that the brother, the QAnon guy, just so happened to be a tech whiz.
Yeah, they don't.
And they were trying to get open a safe.
It's so bizarre because it's the most contradictory thing ever, because he originally tries to blow it up with C4.
But somehow, the C4 doesn't work.
The way he does it is so weird. Okay, so first of all, yes, he tries to blow it up with C4, and it does not have as much of an effect as C4 should have. He barely makes an issue of backing away from it. And then he's just "Oh, hey guys, cover your ears." And they barely do. They literally just do this.
Fire in the hole.
And they barely react when the explosion happens. And then after the explosion happens, it leaves some wires and stuff exposed. So he spends a whole bunch of time, much of it off screen, just playing around with hot wiring the little, touching little strands of wires together. And then at one point, they randomly cut back to him, and it randomly works, and it opens the safe. And here's the crazy thing.
Can I say something? So, this goes along with what you were about to say. Mm-hmm. So, he did the C4, mm-hmm. and I also would like to point out that he put the C4 on the side with the hinges. Yeah, he put
didn't blow the hinges off.
No,
I never noticed that.
Yeah, he pulled it open. It went over that way.
Also, the funnier part is some of his other goons point out that sounded like C4.
The fuck was that?
Sound like C4.
Yeah, does C4 have a specific sound compared to other explosives?
Explosive experts, please fill us in.
Also,
that was some of the weakest C4 I ever blown up.
Anyway, so even from the beginning, even from when we first see this safe, Like, it's a little bit... It looks a little off. Like, it looks like an odd place for a safe in a house. And when the thing opens, it becomes even more apparent. Like, we see the inside of the safe, and the first thing we see is just an ordinary hallway in a house. And it occurred to us then and there that, oh, they just, like, welded all of this safe crap onto an ordinary door in this house they were filming at.
Especially because then they cut to it being open, and when the door's being forced open, you can see the original door.
Yeah, like on the other side. And here's the thing. So the first shot after the door has been blown open, or not really blown open, been opened, is just him walking down this ordinary looking hallway in the house. And then we cut to what is supposed to be the same location, but what is very obviously not. It's literally just an abandoned warehouse, not unlike the one they shot Hard Kill in. And this is supposed to be like an elaborate secret basement where John Keats's devious deeds take place, except it's clearly not underground because there's light coming in. Strangely enough, Hard Kill had a similar issue where they're supposed to be in the basement, but there's light coming in. It's very obvious that it's a warehouse because it has a bunch of like boxes and stuff in it that look like just ordinary cardboard boxes that hold cargo and stuff. In addition to that, though, they have
those extremely tall metal industrial shelving setups that you'd see like in an auto parts warehouse.
They also spray painted the logo of Charles's gang or whatever on the boxes, as well as they put bags of cocaine that are clearly just bags of like powdered sugar with that same logo spray painted on.
And to be even more in your face, it's literally on the front of the safe door, like the center where that turning mechanism is. And speaking of that hallway, next to it is another door. Like it looks like a closet for coats or something like that.
Well, wait, hold on. Don't forget, there's also the weirdest thing that's down there. Or no. There were two weird things down there.
Yes.
First, we see the random girl chained up. We figured, okay, I guess she must be a trafficking victim or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Part of me actually wonders if it even is a girl, because I didn't really... Because this may sound gross, but I didn't see like any indication of like it's just like a particularly...
Like feminine curves or whatever.
Or like breasts. It could have been just a guy with extremely long hair, but honestly it could have been either way, because we don't see the person's face or any more features, thankfully.
I thought the body looked somewhat feminine, like in petite, and I thought she was wearing a pair of panties or something. But...
Yeah, that I saw. I just can't tell because the top was very obscured. Yeah. Thankfully so, but still.
And then even weirder, we see a guy who's like moving boxes and like bopping up and down to music on his headphones, and it's weird because the way he does it, first of all,
he had headphones?
I think. First of all, he's naked. We never find out why. And second of all, like, the way he's moving really makes it look like he's humping the boxes. It's really, really weird, and it never comes up again. No idea why it's in the movie. And
also, I think the last thing you should be doing is validating a conspiracy theorist's conspiracies. That sounds kind of irresponsible.
Like, the movie seems to want this conspiracy theorist character to sound insane by saying, like, oh, you got, your Epstein Island, and you have a, cabal of Satan worshippers and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, but... the Satan worshipper part isn't true, but, like, he's kind of proven right in a way, because he does have drugs and human trafficking and all that stuff, so...
Eesh. They did irresponsible there. Even then, take that out of the way, especially because the rest of the film, it is very in your face when it comes to like being topical. It's preachy and kind of tacky and embarrassing. I mean, there's like a mention in Divine Rand. There's also a random guy that is introduced like during the climax who's literally shown like etching a Nazi symbol into a metal bench. Mm-hmm. And of course, Willis is very much doing very little nothing until he's one of the saviors of the climax, just like in Hard Kill as well. The overlap is absurd, honestly, between those two films.
And honestly, like, again, like with Hard Kill, you can't really blame them for not having him do all that much, even knowing what we know now.
Yeah. The guy was in bad shape, and and honestly, doing that would have been gross and exploitative, if not generally dangerous, and honestly, would be legally questionable.
But the rest of the movie is also bad. It's just not Bruce Willis's fault that it's bad, really.
Yeah, it's everyone else's fault.
I mean, it's just the same. Also, one thing I will say to give credit, for once, they actually commit to some level of practicality when it comes to violence and explosions. They actually did blow up a car, and also they actually had some decent-looking blood effects.
Yeah, there were actually some alright practical effects throughout this movie, which is more than I can say for... Sometimes.
Yeah, well,
which is more than I can say... Even that's more than I can say for almost anything we've reviewed on this show.
Although, there was a moment where a guy gets shot in the foot, and that plastic piece is visible.
Yeah, the little, like, the actual
Best
squid.
practical effects had to go to Sharkside.
And also, another thing that's pretty funny is there's, like, scenes where the guys are shooting clay pigeons, which, yeah, they use that cliche for an action movie, right down to the transition of the gun is shot before they go to the next scene.
Yeah, it's the pull, and then immediately cut to the next scene.
Yeah, like...
Pull!
The funny thing is, like, when the clay pigeons are flying, it's CGI right down to the explosions. But there's actually a shot where it's at a lake or like a pond, and they actually show 2 pieces of a broken off disc flying in there. That's just funny to me. So the ones that they have a big practical is they're throwing 2 plastic pieces into the river. Pathetic.
They just had a guy off camera go, yeet!
Yeah, the unintentional laughs weren't good enough, though. Again, that warehouse thing, we were hysterical.
Exposition. Exposition.
Oh, and yeah, another thing that he pointed out while we were watching it, the southern accents are very inconsistent, and that's what people are doing them because Willis isn't doing an accent.
Yeah,
Louisiana.
Some characters have them, others don't.
Like Charles has a Cajun accent.
Yeah. Up out of house tonight, I'll have it for you.
Grace has...
Grace is the sister of
Bridget.
Grace is doing just the most stereotypical southern accent you've ever heard, y'all.
You watch too much YouTube, Toby. Dr. Keats ain't selling virgin blood.
Like, she's the one who's really, you could tell, trying the hardest. I pointed out that actress seems to think, much like a lot of the actors in Devil Comes to Kansas City, which we reviewed previously.
Can anyone tell me not just what happened to Monday's shipment, but what happened to the entire fucking Tijuana supply chain?
She seems to think she's doing Oscar-winning work. Like, she has a big crying breakdown scene, and the simple fact that she's doing an accent. I joked that, like, she is probably the one person who, like, when the camera stops rolling, she goes up to the director and says, hey, like, what's my motivation? Because that's probably how she actually talks, not like a redneck.
And speaking of that John Keats guy, like, a lot of expositional dialogue is given to him, including that 10-minute one.
A 10-minute scene.
It just goes on. That one just goes on and on.
It's 5 minutes. Wild line. 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, there's this line of dialogue that he says in the middle of it that made us lose ourselves laughing. It's so out of place.
We should explain what he was actually doing, though. So this is this was meant to be the big reveal of what was actually happening all along, and where Bridget is, and who did what to whom, and apparently, like, Bridget was in on it herself somehow. It's really confusing.
It comes off again as so overtly contradictory because there's never really any seeds planted, whether in dialogue or even like some flashbacks or whatever, that this fits the character's nature. It just comes off as like a weird shift for the sake of pulling the rug out from underneath.
And yeah, the actual explanation doesn't matter, but they do spend literally 10 minutes trying to explain all these twists and turns and be shocking. In the middle of that, there's a part, I don't remember the context or how it fits into anything, but he says,
not to mention those gay vegans in Los Angeles worried about all the additives in their orange juice, but they couldn't even pronounce half the damn shit that was in their fucking drugs.
And then there are those gay vegans in Los Angeles who don't know what's being put in their drugs.
Or they can't pronounce half the name.
And who bitch and moan about organic orange juice and can't pronounce half the names of what's put in their drugs, or something like that.
It is so out of left field.
Then he goes right back to exposition.
As if there's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yes, we were just like...
on a similar... What's his face? The Viggo Mortensen looking guy, Charles, also has a similarly kind of insane line. Like when he's on the phone or on a walkie-talkie with somebody, I don't quite remember.
Sodomites.
Yeah.
You hurt my boy. Now raining unholy violence down upon you sodomites.
Is he like? Because I joked. I joked that he was whoever he was talking to, whatever he was responding to, his response was essentially just, "Oh yeah, well you're all gay." Because I couldn't tell if he literally was just calling them gay or if he meant like in the broader sense of just like sinners or whatever.
Or maybe or for all I know, he's going for calling him inbred or some shit.
Bridget Baker was not the young woman you thought she was.
What do you mean?
She never loved you, Roy.
Ain't that the truth?
No, you do not have permission to talk to me like that.
Keep my sister's name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah, but also, that also ties to another issue involving the dialogue. They seem to throw in a lot of random assemblage of, Southern colloquialisms, but they don't sound like real ones. They feel like ones that were just cobbled together to sound like a Southern colloquialism.
At one point...
okay, ChatGPT. Show me Southern.
Honest to God, yes. These people, probably know nothing about, Southern slang, and they just decided to, look it up on Google or ChatGPT or whatever, and they probably picked some that are either, really obscure or just, really old-fashioned and forgotten. Because, at one point, Charles tells somebody to not be a, quote, pigeon of peace.
Don't be a pigeon of peace, son.
Which is one that I have never heard in my life.
I've heard of a dove of peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I don't...
This
and
movie
it's weird because it's weird because it was shot in Georgia, but I guess the crew and cast must all be transplants from.
I looked it up.
California. Or
I looked it up. There are 3 places this was filmed. Washington, Georgia, Washington, and where is everything filmed? Vancouver.
Those do all make sense. But we know it was at least partially filmed in Georgia.
Yes.
Because, again, tourism ad. But I don't think that the screenwriters knew Southern slang, is my point.
No.
And probably a lot of the actors weren't either.
Sorry, finish.
Because a lot of their accents sound fake.
Also, honestly, this is regarding Mr. John Keats saying gay vegan. Many of us thought it was improvised. That was improvised.
Maybe.
I don't think so. It was out of left field,
Hard
is what
to
we're
tell.
saying.
Especially because we also thought, jokingly said at one point, that when he used the term bastards to finish off one of his sentences, we thought that was improvised. Yeah, the dialogue, a lot of it just goes from being generic, or sometimes just kind of almost sound like incoherent babble. And the action sequences, well, they're boring. The camera constantly jitters.
This movie is, for most of it, painfully slow.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like nothing happens, even though it's actually, like I said, very convoluted. It's just all the convoluted stuff doesn't actually happen on screen. It's just people talking about it. And it's excruciatingly boring until the climax, when it randomly gets insane.
It's kind of like one of those bad horror films where nothing happens besides some cheap jump scares, and then the third act just goes to shit.
Yeah.
There's the crappy monster movies.
Yes.
There's I remember that in the final action sequence, there's a whole big long stretch where it's nothing but slow motion shots. And obviously you can tell it's just padding, but at least unlike in Hard Kill, they actually shot them in the correct frame rate in order to slow it down.
Yes.
But I remember that there's slow motion action sequences like that can be cool, like John, we mentioned John Woo. Speaking of doves of peace, yeah.
And James Gunn.
The problem
in the Matrix.
Yeah, the problem here is
Matrix.
First of all the problem here is that it went on too long, but also even ignoring that, the shots that they chose to focus on were the most bizarre things. It's never any actual action or fights or shootouts or actual shooting that's in slow motion. It's there
was a few of those shots.
There were a couple, but for the most part, it's close-ups on people's faces holding guns and firing, but you don't actually see the gun firing. And it's random details, like the light on the side of the house.
Yeah.
or like a window or something. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Although surprisingly, to give one thing credit when it comes to attention to detail is after the C4 blows off and that first time to get the safe open, they actually show a chandelier moving. Somehow it's not destroyed, but it's at least swinging.
Yeah.
Welcome to movies where nothing makes sense.
Apologize if we're jumping around a lot. Like I said, the linear plot of this is very difficult to remember.
Yeah,
but
it's just such a slog. There's nothing really that garners attention outside of the occasional absurdism, but that's not frequent enough.
Yeah. I feel like there was also something else in that final action sequence that I'm forgetting.
Yes.
The son getting killed.
Yeah, Bruce Willis just coming in and killing everyone.
No, before that, I feel like there's another like moment that's
A character's son getting killed that we actually gave credit.
Oh yeah.
Not that. We should give credit to that.
They killed the ginger again.
The sort of pseudo-protagonist, I guess, is supposed to be Charles's son. And credit where it's due, they kill him off and they actually commit to it. Like, it's not plot armor. He doesn't unexpectedly come back. It wasn't wearing Kevlar the whole time. They actually kill him. They actually go for a bittersweet ending. They actually end up killing him off.
I remembered.
And, like, props to them for having the balls to actually do that. Like, doesn't excuse the rest of the movie, but...
I remember that absurd moment. The grenade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part where a grenade gets thrown into the house, and the QAnon conspiracy guy, instead of just running away, he does the thing where he tries to protect everybody by jumping on top of it.
And he doesn't even try to throw the grenade back.
Yeah.
Especially because it does have quite a lengthy wind-up time.
Yeah, and because...
Especially because they do that the second time around, it blows up the car.
And
they throw it back the second time.
When the grenade blows up, it does kill him, but it doesn't do what a grenade should do.
No.
It doesn't blow him up.
Burns.
It literally just leaves him with, like, third-degree burns on his face.
And the most bizarre thing is that it doesn't have... A human body is not the same as those, silver domes that are used to detonate mines. That silver is much more dense, and thus can absorb that impact. We humans can't. And that also, he barely turns down to guts. If you're gonna kill him with a grenade, you gotta have the budget to commit to that at least, or something. Just something better. Or how about
the budget was $10 million.
Or,
by the way,
what the?
That seemed. I mean, that's
how
not,
much. But the thing is, considering how much was Willis paid, though, is my question.
True. $10 million isn't considered huge, but it's also more than I would have expected for this.
I looked it up. It's $10 million.
How much this made me wonder how much the substance cost, considering how elaborate its body horror effects were.
Yeah, like
$7.
You can do much better. Even like effects heavy movies cheaper than this have looked better. Like that says a lot.
Yeah.
Wow, the substance was $18 million.
Oh, okay.
But still, you could have gotten something resembling like a severed torso. You wouldn't have to show his face.
Or even like freaking Get Out was made for like $4 million, I think.
And they got pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
I mean, look, including that the sunken place.
Yeah.
That's a very elaborate VFX sequence or green screen sequence, and you could have fooled me that it was you. I would have thought the budget was 8 figures rather than 7. Mm-hmm. Let's see. But yeah. And it's supposed to be bittersweet. The guy's a QAnon conspiracy theorist. For me, that's what I call an unsympathetic victim, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, it's weird, because while he's alive, we kind of seem to... The movie wants us to believe that he is crazy and not particularly likable. And then when he dies, he doesn't have any kind of redemption arc. He just, he doesn't change as a person. He just randomly decides to be selfless and sacrifice himself. And then we're supposed to, mourn and be like, oh, he was a great man. He sacrificed himself to save us all. And
I didn't think that.
See? Case in point. And also, Bruce Willis takes the fall for the 2 remaining pseudo-vigilantes, I guess you would call them now. Oh, it also has a cliche of someone running into a field, and it has this symbolism of blood on a piece of cotton, on a cotton plant.
That's right.
That
was the ending shot.
Oh, yeah.
They just, abruptly... cut to the end card, and then the Georgia tourism ad, and then credits.
I have no final thoughts. There are so many things going on in this movie.
All I can really, unless you guys have any more to say.
I'm ready to give the ratings.
Okay.
What you see at this point is kind of a what you see is what you get scenario here. There's just not enough unintentional laughter, ironic enjoyment here. So really, you're better off just. I mean, if you want to consider it's Halloween, if you want to watch an unintentionally hilarious horror movie, there's Wish Upon and Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. Those were laugh riots for me.
This episode's gonna come out after Halloween.
Probably because of how long they take to edit. The last Cartoon Catastrophes was our Halloween episode.
Yes.
So.
Okay, then let's see. What would be another good unintentional laugh riot that isn't horror based?
UHF.
That's an intentional.
That movie's actually good.
Oh.
Let's see. Unintentional laugh riots.
Any B monster movie that you can find on
I will. I think. Wait.
Amazon Prime.
I'm trying to think of one.
Shark Side of the Moon.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that counts.
Velocipaster.
What the hell?
You haven't heard of Velocipaster?
Is that going to be a future episode of Tubi Trash?
Possibly.
What? Okay, so we're talking about like a velociraptor and a pastor merged together.
My friend?
Yes, it's real. Look it up later.
Is it like Dogman?
I don't know.
I am not going to.
No, it's
First
not.
off, Daft Pilkey is playing it for comedy rather than trying to play it straight.
Yeah. No, Velocipaster is just a B movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we ever do that, I am 100% in.
I got nothing.
So I guess if I could sort of sum up, this don't really recommend either from an actual genuine enjoyment standpoint or even really an ironic standpoint. I would just find the last 30 minutes on YouTube or something. It's pretty entertaining. It's the only part of the movie that is entertaining, save for some very sporadic funny moments here and there. But overall, it's really not worth it. Yeah, that's all. This is kind of a nothing movie. Sorry if we don't have too much interesting to say, but them's the breaks. So I guess y'all want to do scores,
please.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, in terms of unironic enjoyment, I don't know, this, like a 2. This is just, there's not much I can think of to actually redeem this thing. I'm sorry. In terms of ironic enjoyment, maybe for the climax alone, I'll give it like a 6, but that's
pushing it.
Being generous. All right, what about you guys?
I guess for me, I'd also give it a 2 out of 10 as a movie, and I guess for being an ironic enjoyment, I give it a 4 out of 10.
I'm going to agree with you on overall. It's 1,000% a 2 out of 10.
All right.
And ironic enjoyment, I'm giving that. I'm going in between you two. Giving it a 5.
Okay.
All right. So for genuine / critical score, I'll be giving it a 2. And for
I think this is the first time we've all matched.
I think for ironic / personal score, it's going to be honestly probably like a 4.
Okay. So yeah, pretty mid, but that's just how, unfortunately, shows like this are sometimes. Hopefully, we'll find something more entertaining next time.
Yeah, let's find something that doesn't star Bruce Willis.
Anyway, until then,
we need some new meat.
Until then, keep on digging through the dumpster of Tubi Trash.
Keep on trashing the Tubies.
Stop.
Roger that.
Digging through the dumpster of Tubi's trash.
No.
Damn it.
America.
I've actually decided on the catchphrase now. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Why are you still watching? Go away.
What would you guys think if Devil Comes to Kansas City won an Oscar?
My life would be complete. Like, that's it. No more. The perfect thing has already happened. We don't need any more world. We can all just die now.